Hey guys, Paul here. Welcome back to the channel. So today I have a brand new tail light for Tesla Model Y to share with you. These are sequential tail light for Tesla Model Y with the new design, and they are all LED, really cool looking. So in today's video I'll show you what comes in the box and then step-by-step installation, and then at the end I'll show you how it works and how it looks on my Tesla Model Y. Now let's go. Let's see what comes in the box of this new sequential tail light for Tesla Model Y. Here what came in the box. Let's take a closer look. So it came with both sides, of course, left and right tail light. As you can see, it has that darker smoke tint on the tail light, which is pretty cool. I kind of like it. And also all of the wiring that you need. So this is for the right hand side, it's for the left hand side. You connect these two to the inner tail light, and these are adapter for left and right for the outer tail lights. And this cable will connect between the two. And it also came with a few zip ties for you too. So the right, and this is the right one. Let me try to put it together real quick. This is what it will look like on the back of the Model Y. I kind of like the design, but I have to see how it looks after the installation, and then we'll share all of that with you guys. Now let me show you where you can get this new tail light for your Tesla Model Y. You can get this new sequential tail light for Tesla Model Y and Model 3 from Handshow or edgeautopart.com. You can see here you can choose between Model 3 and Model Y, and also two different color signal light, yellow or amber or red color signal light. And if you are interested, you can use my special discount code TC for extra 20% off, and this is the final price after the discount. Now let's go and install it on my Tesla Model Y. Let's start the installation. Let me show you real quick before we start the installation what you need for this installation. So you need a few tool removal tools. This will help removing the tail light, and also a plastic fitting line. So this will help fit the wiring from this part into the tube and then coming out. So we have to run the wire from the inner tail light into the outer tail lights. Also a socket wrench, the tools to remove the bolt from the tail light, and also a electrical tape. Alright, now let's start the installation with removing all of the sub compartment covers, both of them. Next, you have to remove this plastic trim on the rear trunk. So first, remove the rubber seal on the rear trunk first. And then there's no screw on here, so we just have to pull it out like so. Just pull it straight and the whole thing will come out. After that, we'll have a few plastic clips here we have to remove. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we have to remove this side trim right here. So just again clips, no screw at all. Same thing on this side. Okay, so this will have another plastic clips, 1 and 2. Next step here, you have to remove this plastic bar, the one that's labeled RH. These doesn't have any screw again, just pull it up. And this whole thing will just come up. We just have to just put it right, on the side, and then same thing on this side. So this will help, you moving this part this way, so that doesn't block from moving this panel out, because you have to access on the inside of the tail light. Same thing on this side. Next step here, just release this rubber trim on the side, because we have to access this part so we can go in the back. Same thing on this side. As you can see, now we have to ply out. Let's start from this side. You have to ply out and try using the hand. See, they have like a clips on the inside. So just ply out this part. See, now we have the full access. You don't have to pull the whole thing out entirely. Just make sure you have the access to the screws. That's the plug you have to unplug. Same thing on this side. So you just remove it out. Just pull it out. Just try to remove it using a socket wrench. So I found the bolt size is actually, I think different model years, maybe it's different size bolt. Mine is 5/16. Same thing with the socket wrench. So just use a socket wrench to undo the bolt. So there are actually only 2 bolts on each side. So 1, 2, and then on the inside, the another 2, just the hook to lock the tail light in place. So just remove those 2 bolts. So after it's loose, just use your hand. As you can see, make sure you don't, drop the bolt. Save it here. And same thing on the top one. Just untie it one time, and then just, rest of the way, just use your hand to untie the bolt. Same thing on this side. Now we should be able to, after you're losing all those 2 bolts, we should be able to unplug first and then try to remove the tail light. Next, you just unplug the tail light. So it's a little hard to show you, and there's like a clipper here. Just remove the lock, then you can just pull it off, as you can see. Same thing on this side. As you can see, I unplugged it. Now we are good to remove the bottom outer tail light. First, remove this cap right here first. There you go. So just a cap for this to lock this in place. Keep this, save this cap, because we have to put it back in. After you remove that cap, actually it came out loosened pretty easily, but now we have to ply out this part. You don't want to break this part right here. Just slowly ply it out. So what I did on this side was just try to wiggle it, top bottom, and slowly wiggle it, and then it's finally will just come out just like this. Same thing on this side. This side seems to be easier, since you can just open this and just keep pulling, and then it should just come out. So basically, what's stuck in here, these are there are 2 metal locks that locks into these 2 right here. Both left and right outer tail light on the bottom is done. Now we have to remove the inner tail light, which is attaching to the rear trunk. So we have to remove the inner plastic trim on the rear trunk first. So first, remove this trim right here. This trim doesn't have any screw. Basically, just slowly pull it down. There you go. So there are a whole bunch of plastic clips attaching to the metal frame of the car, pretty much. Removing this part out. Next, before we able to remove this top piece, there are 2 plastic locking clips. So you have to remove those 2 first. Alright, now we should be able to remove this part to access the upper or inner tail light. So if it's hard to remove, just use one of these two to ply it out around the edges. Okay, make sure you don't pull it out all the way because you have to unplug a few things like speakers and the light in the back here. You can see here after the panel came loose, you have to unplug that so you don't pull all the way down. Make sure you unplug that first. After that's unplugged, we can remove entire piece, entire cover out. Now you will have a full access to the inner tail light, so we have to unplug this one and this one right here, and this one bolt to undo, and one bolt here. Should be the same size bolt. Now let's unplug the tail light first. There's a little lock red color right here. I just used the flathead screwdriver to help unlock this part right here. After that, you just have to pull it out. Now, let's see it there, and then just pull it, unlock. Now, after this, after you unlock it, it should just come right out. Alright, now we should be able to undo the screw for the bolt. I'm just gonna use the socket wrench to do it easier. Alright, now we remove both bolts out. So this one is a little harder to remove. So I just use a plastic plier tool to ply the space. You see that much space, and then use a small flathead screwdriver. Use a flashlight to look. You'll see where the screw, where the locking clip is, and then just use it to pop close to the locking clips on both sides. You should be able to move it out. You see these two, because if you keep plying it on the wrong position, then it won't come out. Now we can install the new tail light in same position. Install it. Before I install another one, let me show you comparisons. So this is the aftermarket tail light, and this is the OEM. You can see it has that dark tint on the cover plastic. This one's clear. Now let's install the one on the left. Same thing here, just slowly align with the same position and pop it in. Here you go. We just have to put the bolt back on. Are we done putting those two bolts back in and put the inner tail lights back in? It's time to run the wiring. So there are two right and left. So right should label the right hand side, which is the right hand side when you're facing the back of the car. So easy to see, the right hand side is a shorter wiring because you're gonna run from here to here and then down to the right tail light. But the left hand side tail light would be longer because you have to run to here, from here all the way down here, and then all around and down to the left tail light. So that's why it's, the wiring is a lot longer. It's pretty much double, a little more than double the length of the right hand side. And one more wiring we have to plug in here is this one right here. So this will connect right to left, so they both synchronize when they send the sequential signal lights like this. Alright, now just do the left hand first. So you just have to plug in the OEM plug, this one right here on the left. Before I plug it in, I want to show you something. So I believe because it has two different size adapter, I believe this is for the car. So maybe the older car used a smaller adapter and the newer car used the big one. So these two female will plug into the OEM. So whichever fits your car, just use that one. And the other end, which is this one right here, will plug into the new tail light, the inner tail light. So just plug the OEM plug into the car adapter and then the new tail light adapter, and then lock it in. See the red plastic right here? Make sure you lock it in. So now we have to just run the wiring from here and show you. Well, let's connect the two first, and then we'll run two wires together. Same thing on the right hand side. Let's plug it in and then lock it. Now we have to connect the two together. So using this wiring right here, so connect, I think it works either way. So connect the wiring to this one right here, the small white one, and then just plug it in. There you go. Same thing on that side. So now basically this one connecting left to right or right to left. Same thing to this one right here. Now we just have to manage the wiring using the zip tie that came in the package. So since this one, it'll be all covered, you know, just run the wire, you know, attached to the wiring that's already sitting in the car, and just, you know, make it nice and clean. Okay, before running the wire, make sure you connect this back into the tail light. Same thing on both sides. Push in the gray plastic right here to lock it in place. So I actually ran the wiring halfway. So I ran from left to right all together, and then everything will go down into this one side of the car, and then we'll go through this hole right here. So hard to see. Okay, right there, and then we'll go in there. But before I actually fish through that pipe, forgot. Let's test it out first. Make sure we got the wiring correctly. So I just plug in another wire harness that came in the package, which is this one right here, and then just plug into the tail light. I think both sides pretty much the same, left or right, because they didn't label it. And then plug this one in right here, the yellow one. Sure, before you plug into the tail light, make sure you fit those two wiring into this cutting hole right here for you to plug the wire onto the tail light, and then just plug it in together. After you connect those wiring, just push through the same pass or the same cutout, and then put the headlight back in. Don't push it in yet. We're gonna test it first. Same thing on that side. Now we just have to connect the plug from the car that we unplugged originally in the beginning, and then connect to the one from the tail light, and then lock in place. Same thing here on this side. You basically do the same procedure when we are done and ready to install, and then lock it in. Now we connect the right that we run the wire down from the inner tail light from the top, and then connect to this one right here. I kind of put the masking tape, a blue masking tape on, make sure it's on the right side. Same thing on that side. Okay, now I connected all the wiring. It should be completed. Let me try. I'm gonna just pull it down. I can't close the trunk just yet, so you can see if it's good to go. Let me turn on the light first. So just manually turn on the light. Right there, headlights on. The tail light should be on too. Alright, all lit up, pretty sweet, cool looking tail light. Let me turn on the signal. So left signal here, and then let's try the right signal. Okay, as you can see, it's sequential. Looks really cool. So this one is the amber light, the emergency light. Sure it's all working. It's really good. Right and left. Alright, I think we are ready to pretty much you know, run the wire correctly. It's pretty cool. Tail light actually looks so much better in person than the picture. And I have all sequential on the bumper too. Okay, looks pretty good. It all works, which is awesome. I don't have to rewire anything. So since we already pre-wired this, I'm just gonna manage the wire here a little bit. Make sure the wiring here, you know, when you push it in, it doesn't pinch any wiring in here. Otherwise, it will just ruin some of the wiring signal. So you might be missing some lighting here. So make sure you don't pinch it. You know, put it through all the way in both plugs in there. Now we just have to put these two wires and then thread into here, and then we just have to undo this thing right here, get those two wiring in these rubber pipes, and then it goes in here. We're just gonna use this plastic. Let me see where it is. I'm gonna use this guy right here. I think a harder one. I'm just gonna use the harder one, it'll be easier to push it through. All right, a little change of plan on running wiring on in my car, especially. But I would highly suggest you to do it correctly. So just go through that pipe, but I didn't do it correctly because I had the, as you can see, it has this new electric sunshade, a smart glass sunshade in there. I would have to uninstall the whole thing and then run the wire through there. But so I did it the other way, so I just run the wire through here, as you can see there, and then come down here and then just pop it open on this side, and then I just use the electrical tape to tape all the wires that expose to the element, and just pop it out. You know, I just attached to that rubber pipe pretty much, and then just tape it out and then run the wiring from here down to the right side. Same thing, we just go in between this interior trim. Let me see here, the headliner trim right here, and the metal body, and then we just put the rubber seal. I shouldn't have any problem. I would have loved to do the right way, but it's just a lot of work for me. Let me show you clear instruction on how to do it. I think Henshaw has it on their website. Let me share that instruction with you.
And then run the fish wire through from the top to the bottom, and from the bottom you'll be fishing this through inside the vehicle roof, and that will allow you to fish it from the actual back of the tail light, corner tail light, to the center of the actual lift gate or tailgate. And make sure that when you are fishing it through, be gentle when you're pulling through. You want to make sure you're not yanking or cutting any wires inside that conduit. So again, you want to fish this wire through this conduit from the inner tailgate to the outer corner of tail lights that you just installed. And this allows the sequential turn signal to work. You want to run it through the headliner. So pull it in from the back seat. And once you have it through the back seat, you'll be running it through the back of the trunk, underneath the weather seal, but above the headliner.
Now I just have to connect this back in. So this one that we ran from the inner tail light up here, and we ran through this in between the trim and the body of the car. Same thing on this side. Just have to run it down here and then plug it and connect it together. Remember, I already connected all the wire to the car. Now you have to make sure you don't pinch any wire in there. So let me show you real quick. So this one right here, there are two different wiring, right? The original one has only one. So now you have to make sure this little one doesn't get pinched in when you push this screw lock in place. So make sure all of that wiring goes in nicely. Make sure it doesn't get pinched in there, and then now we can just pop this side. Remember, these are locking clips, and then now we just have to put the screw back in. Alright, so I'm done. Put the outer tail lights back in. Now we just have to put all the rubber seal back, all the panels back on the bottom and the top, and we pretty much done. We'll see the final result after I put everything back together. Alright, now I just have to put my refrigerator back in. It's a must-have for this summer. And then suction cover and my cargo cover. Alright, we are pretty much done with the installation. Now let's see how it looks. Taillight turned out really cool. Love the design and how it looks with that smoke plastic on the outside. It still blends really well with the current side marking. As you can see, pretty cool design, I think. Something different from what I have seen out there so far for Model 3 and Model Y. I believe they have for both Model 3 and Model Y, and you can get both kinds. You can get the amber turn signal, and you can also get the red turn signal too. Let me show you. Left signal, right signal, also braking, and then turn off. I love this starting, all turn on sequence that it goes and then goes back up. It's pretty cool. It looks a little yellow on the camera, but it's pretty much just regular red on the light. And let's see a little closer details here. Love the design with those stripes. And here, something totally different from out there in the market. And also, I really like that sequential turning. Let me turn that on. As you can see here, the sequential turning signal. So the big difference here is that I believe the turning signal on the original OEM is only on the outer tail light, not here. So it doesn't have to really connect it all together, or even if they have to connect, then they can just do it internally. Now we are changing to the aftermarket, so somehow we have to connect the inner and the outer tail light together. So that's why we have to run those wire. I would love to just have this result without running those wire, believe me, but it turned out really cool. Love the design and the turning signal of this light. Let me show you what it looks like at night. show you the backup light. You can see there's those two white lights on the top. It's real cool looking lights. As you can see in the video, I love the look of these tail lights for the Model Y. Love the design, something something different from what I have seen in the market. I wanted to change the look of my tail light for a while now. I just didn't find the right design that fits my Model Y. The only thing I didn't like was the installation, because you have to actually connect the inner light to the outer light, which are different locations. So you have to run all those wires down and then come down to the one at the outer lights left and right. Let me know in the comment down below what you think about this new tail light for Tesla Model Y, and I'll make sure to put the link of these tail lights from Henshow in the description down below, and special discount code for you too. Thank you so much guys for watching today's video. Make sure to click like if you like the video. Make sure to subscribe for more awesome contents like this. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.